Similarly, in Newton's divided difference method also, we are creating a difference table, but here the differences are calculated by a different logic. In forward difference interpolation, we were just taking difference of only y values, right? Only y values were included in your forward differences. But in case of Newton's divided difference, along with y differences, we are also using the differences of x values, and we are dividing by the differences of x values. That's why it is called divided difference. Now let me explain how we can calculate those divided differences. Then we'll try to modify this for loop. So your divided difference table will look like this. First we'll have column of x, then column of y, and as per our arrangement, we are saving the x data in a single dimensional array. So it will be like this. First data will go to x0, second data will go to x1, third data will go to x2, and last data will go to x3. Let's keep up to 4 data so it would be easy to understand. Then the first y data will go to y00, right? First bracket represents the suffix of your data, and second bracket represents the order of your difference. Now since for the y data we haven't started our differences, that's why by default we are taking 0 here. Then this value will be y10, this value will be y20, and this value will be y30. Then next we'll calculate our first divided difference. So how we can calculate our first divided difference? For divided difference, we need to take difference of y values in the numerator and the difference of x values in the denominator, right? That's why they are called divided differences. Now if I take difference of these two values, then difference of these two values will be saved in which location? The location will be this. Since it is the first difference, that's why the suffix is 0, and it is first divided difference. So in the second bracket we will have 1 here. So if it is your first divided difference, your second bracket will have 1. If it is second divided difference, your second bracket will have value 2. And if it is your third divided difference, then your second bracket will have value 3. So why we are taking 1 here? Because it is your first divided difference. Similarly, the difference of second and third value will be saved in which location? It will be y11, right? Because the next suffix after 0 is 1, and the second bracket will have 1 because it is first divided difference. Similarly, the difference of third and fourth value will be saved in y21. Right? So this way your first divided differences will be y01, y11, and y21. And this is equal to, now what is the process of calculating divided difference? For that we need to take difference of y values in the numerator and difference of x values in the denominator. But whenever you are taking differences in interpolation method, what you need to remember, you always need to take higher suffix minus lower suffix. So for these two y values, let me change the color of pen. So for these two y values, which is the higher suffix? Higher suffix is here y1 and lower suffix is here y0. So when you take difference of y values in the numerator, you need to take y10 minus y00, right? It would be higher suffix minus lower suffix divided by, now which are the corresponding x values corresponding to y? For this y value we have x value x0, and for this y value we have x1 here. So again for these x values we need to use the same logic, higher suffix minus lower suffix. So if I take higher suffix minus lower suffix, then it would be x1 minus x0, right? This way we can calculate our divided difference. So here there will be y values in the numerator and x values in the denominator. Similarly for the second value, for y11, which are the two y values here? It is y10 and y20. So again I need to take higher suffix minus lower suffix. So it should be y20 minus y10. 1 0, and divided by the corresponding x values are x1 and x2. So again, if I take higher suffix minus lower suffix, that would be x2 minus x1. And last, for this data, the y values will be y30 minus y20 divided by the corresponding x values are x3 minus x2. Right? This way we can calculate our divided difference. Now this is called first divided difference. Similarly, if you want to calculate second divided difference, then how we can calculate second divided difference is actually the difference of first divided differences. So we have three first divided differences: y01, y11, and y21. So if you take difference of these values, then they are called second divided differences. Now what will be the location if I take difference of first two values? The location will be this y. Now since this is my first value, so suffix is 0, and since this is your second divided difference, so your second bracket will have y02, and similarly the next value will be y12. Now this y02 will be difference of first two values, that means y01 and y11. But again the logic will be same. We need to take higher suffix minus lower suffix. So that would be y11 minus y01. Right? This y11 and 01, they are actually your first divided differences. So since we are taking the difference of first divided difference, that's why it is called second, because it is this difference second time. Then we need to divide by x data. Now here comes the tricky part. Which x data you will consider here for y02? For that, simply you need to check the range of your x data corresponding to this value y02. Now y02 is actually difference of y01 and y11. Now y01, it is correspond to x0 and x1, and y11 it is corresponding to x1 and x2. That means for this value we have three x values: x0, x1, and x2. That means your first value starts from x0 and it is ending at x2. So again here you need to take higher suffix minus lower suffix. Which is the higher suffix here? It is x2. And which is the lower suffix here? x0. So here you need to take x2 minus x0, right? Because for this data y02, the range of x is containing three x values. That's why when we take higher suffix minus lower suffix, it would be x2 minus x0. Similarly, for this data y12, your first divided differences are y21 minus y11. Now which are the corresponding x values? The three x values for y12 are x1, x2, and x3, right? These three values are for y12. And again, if we take higher suffix minus lower suffix, it would be x3 minus x1, right? So these are your second divided differences. And similarly, if I calculate my third divided difference, then location wise it would be saved to y03, because second bracket will have 3 here. And for third divided difference, I need to take difference of my second divided difference values. So I need to take y12 minus y02. So in the numerator, I am taking the difference of y values, but they are your second divided differences, and divided by, now what is the range of x values here? For y03, all four x values are considered, right? All four x values are considered. That means starting from x0 to x3. So your higher suffix will be x3 here, and your lower suffix will be x0 here. So it will be x3 minus x0, right? And that's it. That would be your third divided difference. So this way you can create and calculate your divided difference table. Now how this table is connected with forward difference interpolation? See, the data which we are using here in the numerator, to calculate the y differences, it is the same logic which we are using in forward difference interpolation. That means in each column, in each value, the numerator is calculated by the same logic which we have used for forward difference interpolation. So if you observe here, this is the logic of forward difference interpolation. Yj plus 1 I minus 1 minus yj I minus 1. This is the logic of forward difference table. Now this same logic is applicable for the numerators in our divided difference method. That means this logic we are going to keep as it is when we calculate the divided difference table. So same logic we are going to use here for numerator, but here we need to add something in the denominator, because here we have difference of x values in the denominator. So in the denominator, your logic will be something like this: x, then there would be a suffix here, minus x, then there would be a suffix here. Now we just need to think what general logic we are going to use here for the denominator. So let's try to understand this part. Here we need to use logic in this form: x minus x. Now in these two brackets, we need to put some logic in form of I and j. So which logic we should use in terms of I and j, so that your denominators will be generated properly in every column, in first column, second column, and third column. Right? So is there any idea from your side? Is there any logic coming in? I'm giving you 2 minutes to think. Any idea coming in your mind? What logic we should use for both the x values so that every denominator is generated? Think about it. Meanwhile, I'm getting back to the screen. I think some network issue is there. And if you find any logic, then you can comment it in a chat box, or you can unmute your mic and give me answer what logic we can use here. Because when I was explaining the same code to your A batch students, I think one of the students gave the logic correctly and precisely. So that's why I'm asking to B and C batch also. If anyone can give that logic, then that would be great. Yeah, I guess this screen is back now. Yes, so think about it. What logic we can use here so that it can generate each and every value in the denominator for all three columns, not only for one column, but for all columns. Any idea? Let me give you some hint. For the first column, your I value will be 1. So I value will be 1 fixed for the first column. For the second column, your I value will be fixed I equal to 2. And for third column, it will be I equal to 3. Now in the first column, your j value starts from 0. As you can see here in the left hand side, it is starting from 0 and it is going up to j equal to 2. So the range of j value is 0 to 2. Then here the j value again starts from 0 and going up to j equal to 1. And here the j value is 0. And meanwhile, we have one answer from Sunny. So Sunny is suggesting that we should take xi plus j minus xi. So let's see whether this logic is working correctly or not. So for the first column, the I value is fixed, it is 1, and the j value is 0 for the first case. So if I take j equal to 0 and I equal to 1, what will happen? It will give me 0 plus 1, so it is x1 minus x1. And what we need here in the denominator, we need x1 minus x0. So Sunny, I think xi won't work here. I think instead of xi, we should take xj. That would be better. So if we take xj here, then it would
Sir,
be
that's XJ, sir, I think.
okay.
No, X. I was mistaken.
Okay, I think that would be typing mistake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think for the first data, for the first value, it is working correctly. But we need to make sure that it is working correctly for every value. So for the next data, what is your j value? J value is 1. I is again fixed. I is not changing for the first column. So if I take 1 1 here, then it would be x2 minus x1. And that's what we need here, x2 minus x1. So it is working correctly. Then next value of j is 2. I is again fixed. I equal to 1. So it would give you x3 minus x2. That means this logic is working correctly for the first column. But again, first column is not sufficient. We need to check it for every column. So if we check it for second column, let's see what we have. For this second column, we know that I value is fixed, I value is 2. And your initial j value is 0. So for j equal to 0 and I equal to 2, your first value will be 0 plus 2, that is 2, minus j value is 0. So this is x0. That means x2 minus x0, which we are getting here. Then next your j value is 1, I value is not changing, I is 2. So it should be 1 plus 2, that is x3 minus x1. And that's what we need here. That means it is working correctly for the second column also. And similarly, if you check for third column, j is 0 and I is 3. So that would be x3 minus x0. So I think it is working correctly for the third column as well. That means here in the divided difference table, we should use this logic in the denominator. It should be the y values divided by xi plus j minus xj, right? Otherwise, the starting and ending point of for loop, that would be same, just like forward difference interpolation. So in the code of forward difference, in this for loop, we just need to make a small change. We need to divide the difference of y values with xi plus j minus xj. And because of this change, your forward difference table will convert to divided difference table. By making this small change, it will convert to divided difference. So this is the first change which we need to make in our code of forward difference. And then your table is converted to divided difference. So this is first major change. Then the second thing comes formula. What is formula of divided difference? The formula of divided difference is like this. Y of x is equal to y0 plus x minus x0 into first divided difference, the first value in the first column, first divided difference, plus x minus x0, x minus x1 into second divided difference, plus x minus x0, x minus x1, x minus x2 into third divided difference. Now, if we try to convert this formula as per our notation, then your formula will be this. This y0 is saved in which location? It is saved in y00 plus x minus x0. But this x value, we are saving in which variable? We are saving this x value to this variable a. So as per our notation, we need to take a here minus x0. So it will be in array x0. Then first divided difference, the first value in the first column is y01 plus this will be a minus x0, a minus x1, and second divided difference is y02 plus a minus x0, a minus x1, and a minus x2, and this divided difference, third divided difference, is saved in y03. So this kind of formula we have. So what we need to do here, first we'll introduce a sum variable, and we'll initialize that sum variable with y00, right? Similar to forward difference code. In forward difference code, we did the same thing, right? So this part will be same in forward and divided difference. Then we'll take a for loop, which will start from 1. It will go up to n minus 1 and I plus plus. And then in the for loop, we'll calculate the numerator. Numerator, that means these terms, a minus x0, a minus x1, right? We'll save them in numerator. And we'll modify that numerator by this logic. nr is equal to nr star a minus. Now what I need to use here, if you see the logic here, when your I value is 1, as you can see in this bracket, you have 1. So your I value is 1 here, your I value is 2 here, and your I value is 3 here. So when your I value is 1, your x value is ending at which suffix? 0. That means it is ending at I minus 1. Now when your I value is 2, it is ending at 1. That means again I minus 1. And when your I value is 3, the last value here is 2. That means I minus 1. So logic wise, we should use here a minus x, I minus 1. And then we need to update our sum value with this sum equal to sum plus nr. That means this bracket value into, now we have y01, y02, y03. What will be general form of this? In the first bracket, the 0 is not changing, so it is constant. And the second bracket is changing corresponding to I. So we need to take y0i here in general in our for loop. So this for loop will take care of the formula. Because of this for loop, right, your formula will be generated, and then we just need to print the answer, and that's it. Your code is done. So we just need to make 3 to 4 changes in our forward difference code in order to convert it to Newton's divided difference. Now let me explain how we can make those changes and how we can convert it to Newton's divided difference. So let's go back to forward difference code. This is our forward difference code. Now what you need to do, whatever changes I'm making in this code, you please note down those changes. And once all the changes are done, you take a screenshot of this code, right? Because after that you need to make this code, create this code, and you need to run it. So let me tell you what changes we are going to make. This is forward difference code. So first I need to use save as option. So we will save it with a new name, Newton's divided difference. So I'm using the option save as, and I'm giving the name Newton's divided difference, Newton's divided difference, and save. So I have saved this code with a new name, Newton's divided difference, and now I will make the changes. So you are also going to do the same thing. Forward difference code is already available with all of you. We have completed that practical. So you get the code of forward difference, you save it with a new name, Newton's divided difference, and then you make the changes. So you don't need to type the whole code again. You just need to make changes only. So it will save your time. So let's make the changes now. First 3 line will be as it is. Then line number 7 and 8, they are defining the 3 integer variable nij. N is for the size of data, and I and j we need for loop. Then next printf and scanf statement, it is asking user to enter the number of data or size of data. So this part will be same in Newton's divided difference also. So we don't need to change these 2 lines, 8 and 9. Then we are defining 2 arrays here. X is a single dimensional array, Y is a 2-dimensional array, right? So these things we also need in Newton's divided difference, so we don't need to change it. Then this A we are using for saving the X value. We also need X value here, so we also need this variable, but we don't need H variable here because there is no variable called H in Newton's divided difference. Similarly, we don't need dr here, and we don't need variable with name p. We just need two variables A and NR. So you need to remove the other variables which we don't need. Then in line number 11, 12, 13 and 14, we are using a for loop which is asking user to enter the data, and we are saving the data in X variable, that means in the X array and in the Y array. Right? So again, this for loop will be same in Newton's divided difference also, so we don't need to change it. Then in line number 15, we have formula of H, but in Newton's divided difference, we don't have any value of H, so we don't need this line. So we'll remove that one. Then in line number 16 and 70, we are asking user to enter the value of X, and we are saving that value in A variable. So these two lines are also needed in Newton's divided difference. So line 1670 will be as it is. Then there is no formula of P in Newton's divided difference. So we'll remove line number 18. We don't need it. So this change we will make here. Then next, from line number 19 to line number 25, we are using two for loops here, right? Two nested for loops. And these two for loops are calculating forward difference table for us. And now we need to convert this forward difference table into Newton's divided difference table. So what logic we are going to use, as we have discussed here in the whiteboard, to convert forward difference table into divided difference, we need to add this additional part. We need to divide the y difference with the x difference, and the logic would be xi plus j minus xj. So let's use it here. So first let's put this part into bracket. So it is in bracket now, and then we'll divide this one with x difference. So it would be xi plus j minus xj. Right? So it is the same logic which we have discussed on whiteboard. So by doing this change, now your forward difference table is converted to Newton's divided difference interpolation table. By making this small change, it is now converted to divided difference. So now this table will calculate the values of divided differences. Then from line number 26 to line number 33, again we have two nested for loops, and these two for loops are printing the table for us. So again in Newton divided difference, we are also printing the table. So this part will be same. It will just print the table, nothing else. Then after printing the table, next we are defining a sum variable, and we are initializing sum variable with y00 in forward difference code. And as we have seen here in Newton divided difference, we also need to initialize with the same value. That means this line will be as it is, no change will be there. Plot sum equal to y00. Then inside the for loop, we have one variable with the name nr, one variable with the name dr, and then we are updating the sum variable. But in Newton's divided difference, we don't need dr because there is nothing in the denominator here. So we'll remove this dr part, because in formula we have nothing in the denominator. We'll remove this dr from here as well. Now, what is the formula of nr? As we have discussed here, the formula of nr is like this. Nr is equal to nr star a minus xi minus 1. So here in the formula of nr, we will use a minus x I minus 1. Right? So this is the logic of nr in Newton's divided difference method. And this formula of sum will be sum equal to sum plus nr into y0i. So this will be again same as we have seen here on whiteboard. Sum equal to sum plus nr into y0i. So that is same here. So no need to change it. And then finally we are printing the value of a and the final answer, which is saved in some variable. That's it. These many changes you need to make, and now your code is converted to Newton's divided difference. Now let's try to compile this code, and let's see whether we can get the right output or not. So let's compile it. Let's hope we don't have any errors. Yes, no errors. So first it is asking to enter the size of data. So let me enter n equal to 4. So first it is asking me to give the first value of x and y. So let me give 1 and 1.1. Then let me give 2 and 4.2, then 5 and 25.5, and then I'll give 9 and 81.9. Why I have given this data? Because I know what is the answer for this data. If I enter x equal to 1.3, then my y value should be 1.82. I know the answer for this data. That's why I'm using it. You can use any data from your classwork to validate your code. So if I enter x equal to 1.3, then as you can see, your divided difference table is created. All the values are calculated correctly. And for x equal to 1.3, your corresponding y value is 1.82. That means this code is working correctly and it is giving you the correct output. So by making just 3 or 4 changes, we have converted the code of forward difference into divided difference. So now I want all of you to take a screenshot of this. So first you take screenshot of first part, which is up to line number 23. Then I'll scroll it down for the rest. So once the screenshot is done, please leave a message in the chat box so I can scroll it down. Quickly take a screenshot of this. And let me know once it is done. Please take the screenshot quickly and leave a message in chat box once it is done. Okay, so I think the first part is done. Then this is the second part. Take the screenshot of second part as well and leave a message in chat box once it is done. Okay, so now you have both these screenshots available with you. So you know what changes you are going to make in forward difference code. So what you need to do, you get the forward difference code wherever you have saved it. Open your forward difference code, save it with a new name, Newton's divided difference, and make those changes which I have suggested here in the screenshots. And after completing those changes, you compile your code, validate your code with any example from your classwork, and match your output with your classwork data. If it is working correctly, then your practical is done. Right, so I request all of you to start working on it. Right, so the explanation part is done. Now you need to complete the practical before the lab gets over. So I think let's stop recording now.